I just realized that I have not asked you how you are in a while. How are you? I hope you're doing okay. Yay. So the last time I've done a thing, So the last time I've done a thing. I did a thing. Okay, so the last time I did this, it was an impromptu idea, but it turned out absolutely great. I took one of the people that follow me on my socials. I took one of your book recommendations and I read it, and it was 1,000 Splendid Suns, and it was amazing. I fell in love. And under that video, I was met with this comment left by Cybercorefish. I've never seen that book. I've never seen the title, I've never seen the author, and I was intrigued. And I was like, cool, is it good? And they didn't say anything. So hi, I'm doing it. I was excited to do that again because I trust y'all. And since you're watching me, then that means that we have maybe similar taste in lit, and I'm gonna like it. That was until I looked it up and it was a memoir. I don't really do memoirs that well. I don't really read nonfiction, and I don't think I've ever even read a memoir. I don't know. So my excitement was here, and then it like slithered down into the rabbit hole. I don't know. But then I thought I want to do it anyways, so I'm doing it anyways. Yay! And that is Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. Now the title. I'm intrigued by the title, I'm not going to lie. I do like the cover, I like the scratch art in it, and I am intrigued by the title, which is a huge part of what made me intrigued in the book in the first place. Yay! So if you don't know the author like me, this is information segment. Hi! Dolly Alderton is an author, a journalist, and a podcast host, and they also have a blog. And yay, cool. Upon research, I saw that the book won a National Book Award, which is better than the New York bestseller list. I don't even know if that makes any sense. Yeah. The wildly funny, occasionally heartbreaking, internationally best-selling memoir about growing up, growing older, and learning to navigate friendship, jobs, loss, and love. Is it just me, or learning to, like, about growing up and growing older, like the same? No, they're not the same thing. I'm kind of dumb. Sorry. Glittering with wit and insight, heart and humor, it will strike a chord of recognition with women of every age. I am women of every age. I am interested, really. Even like after reading the summary, I got extremely intrigued in the book. It's sort of like a coming of age self-help memoir, or a memoir that is meant to be a coming of age self-help. Like I said, this was recommended by Cybercorefish. I feel like I'm on Tumblr in 2012. So we're just gonna read it and hope for the best. I'm trying to think of the last time I've read a memoir, and I honestly do not think I ever have. Yay, popping cherries. Cool. I'll see you in the update. Okay, so the first part is called Everything I Knew About Love as a Teenager, and honestly, 2 pages, it's like just 2 pages long, right? And those 2 pages, I read them and I could tell that this is going to be a fun read. I absolutely enjoy the formatting of this. It's like split into chapters of the author's own life, like how she viewed love as a teenager, and how she viewed it before, and how she got introduced to all aspects of like experiences in life, whether that be, you know, smoking, alcohol, whatever the heck, going to parties, how they got introduced to them. I absolutely like that formatting. Feels like I don't know, like it's beautiful storytelling for me. because it feels like we're actually like getting to know this character, this person, and what made them who they are now, and how maybe some behavior they have now, what like drove them into being that person. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's sort of like, you know, lets you know the person more. So I like how everything is laid out and how everything is introduced. Part 2 is called Boys, and it sort of starts off in a nostalgic trip, and I absolutely loved it. For some, the sound that defined their adolescence was the joyful shrieks of their siblings playing in the garden. For others, it was the chain rattle of their much-loved bike. So it starts off like that, and then it goes into this whole paragraph where it's a nostalgic trip. After we go through the pre-pubescent era of the author, we hit the teenage years, and after the teenage years, their early 20s. And when we hit the early 20s, at some points it started like feeling a little bit self-centered, and I was okay with that at first. Honestly, I was 100% okay with it, because I treated it as a character, not as a memoir. I treated it as fiction, and this is a character, and we are going to see some character development after. And then I remember that this is a memoir, and I sort of cringe, and I was just like, I don't like this so much. But I need to change that. Like, the same way I give a character in a fictional book chance for character development, I need to give it in memoirs. I need to read more memoirs, so please suggest me more memoirs. It honestly is put into perspective how young we still are, how absolutely much more time like we still have to, and how many more experiences we still have to go through. And like it hit this part where she was like, I'm 22, and when I think back of being 22, this is what I was doing. And then she's 22 and she's fucking railing everyone that has a hole and walks. She's everywhere. She's drinking anything that smells slightly of alcohol. She's all over the place. And I'm like, oh, I'm doing okay in life. I don't need to have an existential crisis. I'm okay. Yeah, I like that so far. I always like stayed away from memoirs for some unknown reason, and yeah, this is sort of changing my mind. I don't know. Hi, I just read a part that I want to tell you about. I don't want to wait until I like sit down and be proper. Anyways, I just read an entire chapter called a little bit fat, a little bit thin. And first of all, trigger warning for anyone that gets triggered with eating disorders. Second of all, it was done so freaking well. As someone that struggled with both bulimia and anorexia, it was done so well, in a sense of there were so many points that were done like so well. The point where it's like the only sense of control we have, we like depend on it, on controlling our bodies, because it's the only sense of control we feel like we have. Yeah, so trigger warning, because I know my brain is messy and I'm gonna forget. And second of all, I like it, and it was done like really well. I keep forgetting shit. Also, the descent into the mental illness, the descent into anorexia, and how they went through that. I keep forgetting that this is not fiction, that this is a memoir, that this is an actual someone's story, and it's so freaking brave to share that, and difficult. I swear to God, every time I try to talk about my feelings or what I've gone through or what I am going through mentally, I get stuck. So it's amazing, like, to have this. It's inspirational, honestly. Realizing that she is actually ill, that she is actually suffering from something, and it's not just, oh no, this is nothing, I'm just taking control of this, I'm just getting healthy. It's like the descent into that, from getting healthy to actually being mentally unstable and actually developing an eating disorder. That was done really good. Hi. I am in love with you. Okay, so I literally just finished the book, right? And let's go step by step since the last time I saw you, because a lot happened and I just went on a binge. The last time I saw you was yesterday, and then I just started reading, and I haven't slept yet, and it's 8 a.m. so cool. Yeah. So you know, all those thoughts we have as humans that may be negative or toxic or a sign of you being a bad friend or a bad person, those thoughts that no one says aloud, but like we all think them, you know? That unwanted jealousy or unwanted sense of, I don't know, it's not even like coming from a bad place, but it just subconsciously happens. They are all here, loud and clear, and I absolutely love it. Let's be honest, we all have stuff like this that goes on in our brain. We all have negative thoughts or toxic thoughts, but no one talks about them, and they're all here. I absolutely love it. And that doesn't have to be you being a bad person or a bad friend or a toxic human being or a piece of fucking garbage. It's normal and it's natural and it's normalized. And the thought that this is also like a memoir and it's not fiction, it's just absolutely amazing. It's fucking relatable, okay? I was reading and then I was just like, oh my god, I'm not the only one. I'm not a human garbage. Wow! A little bit after I saw it yesterday, it got a little bit more self-centered, which got a little bit more annoying, but we quickly moved past that, as you'll see now. It is real. It is real. My notes literally say it's getting a bit more self-centered, which is starting to get annoying, to be honest. And then the second note is it's fucking real. I love it. So it's like this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's like relatable, because I hit times where I believe I am God and then times where I am fucking garbage. So this is extremely relatable. I imagine myself being their friend, like someone in this person's life, and actually reading this after and reading like all the negative feelings that they had from me doing something like literally subconscious, like it didn't, like doing something so unrelated to them. And I imagine that it would hurt, but you have to finish the book and realize that this has nothing to do with that person. Like me being jealous over someone or negative over someone or even mad over someone when they did nothing to me is a reflection of myself and how I'm feeling, and it's something that now at 23 I am working really hard on fixing. And it's amazing to see that in this book, and it's just a reflection of who we are as humans and what our subconscious can do to us and what our brains can do to us, and that makes us behave in a certain way and even hurt people that don't deserve to be hurt like that. My next note says, we all sort of feel like this, although a bit toxic, refreshing to see, especially in a memoir. Again, although some of this can be taken as toxic or like negative feelings, but it's so freaking real. Everyone feels this. Everyone gets to a point in their life where they reflect and they're just like, oh my god, I need to work on myself. This is my problem. Why am I feeling like this? And it's just so refreshing to see this. We're not fucking perfect all the time, and it's just amazing to see it. It's like, oh, I'm not alone. Yay! There's this part where her friend turns 30. 30? This part where her friend turns... There's this part where her friend turns 30 and she starts sobbing and yapping and crying about how life is meaningless and how this is all it is. Blowing candle after candle each year, and it's so painfully realistic. It's the point where I'm just like, I kind of love this. This part is called Tottenham Court Road and ordering shit off Amazon, and it was the part that made me realize that I am falling in love with this novel and this author, and I absolutely will see more from them. It made me like finishing that part. It started with the birthday and I started like really loving it, and then finishing it I was like, I need to read this. I'm going back to this book at 25, and then again at 28, and then again at 30, and then again at 35, and again. And this is a book that I want to give to my child. Like, I want a daughter just so I can give her this book. This is my first time reading and finishing it, and I want to go back to it again and again, because I know in each part of my life I will take something from it and learn something from it, and I will reflect on myself, and it's going to be a huge help and a huge like reflecting moment and accepting moment. It is never a destination in life where you reach a certain age or a certain stage in your life and you just made it. A stage where you solved it all and you know it all and you're just unfazed by anything. Stage where you have it all figured out, and we forget that, and this highlights it so much, and I absolutely love that. She was a teenager, she doesn't have anything figured out, she just wants to be an adult, and then she is an adult and she doesn't have anything figured out. Well, maybe when she's more of an adult, maybe her early 20s, she's gonna have shit figured out, and she is. And she's still all over the place. She's still misunderstood. She's still lost within herself and everything around her. And then she's 25 and she still doesn't have shit figured out. Then she's 30 and she has more shit that she needs to figure out. Like, life is an endless journey, and this is highlighting that a lot. It's really, really important, especially for young women. After finishing it, I think this is actually a great companion in any girl or woman's life, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I think it highlights a lot of our insides. That sounds disgusting, but like mentally puts forward things that we are ashamed of, that we don't share, that we deem as bad or toxic or negative. They are normal and we all feel them, and yeah, I absolutely loved it. This was a 4 out of 5 star rate. This was a 4 out of 5. Thank you again to you, Cyber Corfish, for recommending this book. If you watch this, then yeah, I would absolutely recommend it. It was cool. And thank you so much for watching and for being here, and I'll see you next video. Bye.